right, CDC302. This is the last class we have in the drawing program. So we want to make it count. We're working the same process that we worked in CDC302. So absolutely nothing will have changed from there. Main difference, as we know, last term we had an hour of the anatomy drawings here, and then 30 minutes of nose hands, and then that gave us an hour, hour and a half to work on our actual drawings that we were boxing, enveloping, scheming, etc. This term, you get the full time. We're going to start with a 3-week pose that gives you 9 whole hours to get as far along the shadow mapping as possible. I'm hoping at the end of 9 hours you have a reasonably successful shadow map for the most part. That's going to be our target goal, 3 weeks a shadow map, and then maybe next drawing we do hopefully 2 weeks, maybe cut that down a little bit. Our last assignments in CDC302, you guys had 3 sessions. That were an hour and a half, 2 hours each. So you had 4.5 to 6 hours or so to work on a shadow map, and now we're giving you 9 hours. So hopefully we'll get a little further along. And then in the final drawing we have, you did 7 weeks on that, 21 hours total. Still, not a lot of time in the grand scheme of things. So it's really going to rely. Your success is really going to rely on how comfortable you've become with this process and how well you can render out that anatomy. We're still going to be working observationally, so once you get that shadow map in, we're going to be stumping it and building it up like we've been doing before by looking at something and responding to the value, getting the right value and the right structure to the rest of the drawing. But we're also going to build on top of that with our knowledge of anatomy. How is the form wrapping around the bicep and the tricep. We didn't get a chance to do that last term. Last term was all focusing on the linear aspect of the shadow map. This term, you're going to get into rendering. One drawing. We get to do one drawing. That's all the time we have in this term. So hopefully you'll be working on this at home. There's a lot of good online resources that you can pull up some figure reference photos for to practice this and really try to make them as high quality figure drawings as possible. Because we just get the one shot in class. Now, for those of you who are successful in passing your review, which is the portrait, you will be able to come back here and work with us in the next term and the following terms. Free of charge, you don't have to pay for the class, just come in and you'll set up a spot, and you can do as many of these 7-week figure poses as you want, and just get better and better and better and better at them. So we want to encourage that. We want to encourage you to come back and work hard and do more, and hopefully we can fill this room up with students who are doing good figure drawings, much like the academies of the 1800s. So let's fill the room up. Lots of figure drawings. You can never do enough figure drawing. I am going to encourage you for our 7-week drawing to leave the head for the end. You're working on portrait in the portrait drawing class, so I don't want you to start with the head. We've made that mistake before, and a lot of, I think, other schools make that mistake, or other classes make that mistake of having students start with the head in a figure drawing class. Our primary importance or focus is the figure. If we can get a head at the end of the term, that's a bonus, but I want you to have that 9 or 10 weeks of portrait drawing before you attempt to put a little head on your figure. Rendering it out prematurely can cause some issues. First of all, you'll spend too many sessions working on the head if you do it at the beginning of the term, just because you've never done it before. And if we only have 7 sessions to work with the model, spending 2 or 3 sessions on the head is not going to give us enough time to flush out all of the anatomy and get all the finishes that we want in our drawing. So we're going to spend 6 weeks on the body. You can spend the last day on the head. And then in the future, when you come back and do this over again, you can feel free to start with the head and then progress your drawing from there. So that's going to be our plan of attack in this class. Other than that, Nothing should be really surprising. Still working the same method. I want 18 by 24 minimum drawing paper. That's 18 by 24 is our standard academy size drawing paper, and we're going to go an inch from the bottom, an inch from the top, unless the figure is running off of the page. And then you don't go an inch from the bottom, you just run the figure right off the page. And we'll figure out a good proportional box for the figure, then get some anchors and develop a quick scheme. And then from that, I would encourage you to probably move in towards the torso and get the torso figured out proportionally with a box, and then maybe anchor it up, scheme it up, maybe develop some shadow mapping there, and then add the appendages, add the limbs on top of that. That way we don't have to worry too much about a shifting model. Again, like we mentioned before, our goal is to try and to get through a box anchor and scheming in the first 20 minutes sitting with the model. That way we can make sure we get the model back into pose, which will allow us to progress with the drawing and hit a torso in there and build the drawing on top of that. So that's going to be the goal here. So I'll do a demonstration as well with you guys. I think I'll be working on white paper for the 3-week, and then for the 7-week pose, I'll be working on toned paper. But you do have the option again, just like with the portrait class for the long drawing, you can work on the cheap white sketch paper, and then once you've developed a shadow map, you can transfer it on over to toned paper and then build a drawing up there that way. So that'll be totally up to you.